Okay, here's my Conestoga pull behind ground driven manure spreader. I'm sorry it's a little bit late, sun's going down. I wanted to get this, it's about 20 degrees out, February 26, 2019, and I just want to show you what it can do now. The ground is partially frozen. There is some wetness underneath right there, but there's a crust on top, okay? The contents of my manure spreader are very grassy horse manure. It would be akin to cow manure. In this case, it doesn't matter because it's grassy and urine soaked. I have a plywood tailgate right there for filling it. You cannot fill this without some sort of tailgate. If you have the factory one that flips open, that's good too, but you do need a tailgate. I have the guard off the chain here because I had a problem with it jumping off going through a bouncy field in the fall. I'm pulling it with my King Quad. It's a what is it, 500 AX four-wheel drive King Quad. I like to do about 7 miles per hour when I spread manure. Seems to be quite effective. A couple things before I take off I want to point out. On this model, as with any manure spreader, you want to watch the table chain. Mine's kind of loose, and I did have a problem with that table chain getting caught up. Actually, it got caught on the chain tensioner for the beater, which is right there. It did get swung, you can see maybe. Okay, so you want to keep that table chain at the correct tension, not too tight, but at the correct tension. Keep everything lubricated. I had an old different model. I did not keep things lubricated, and it was not good. So this is a good unit. It's fairly heavy duty, and it does weigh. It is heavy, so when you're going through muddy ground, you have to worry about it. I have gotten it buried with these skinny drive wheels, and the thing is probably what, 400, 600 pounds probably, and then you put a load of manure in it like this and you're looking for trouble. So let's go, and we'll show what it does if I can do this with one hand. So off we go. That's only doing 3 to 4 miles per hour because it's easier for me to steer one-handed, but I normally do like to move right along about 7 miles per hour. But as you can see, if you just have like a little Cub Cadet tractor, 3 to 4 miles per hour is nice. You can see how it just chops up and blows the hay right out. Okay, now it's starting to lighten up, so as it hits the icier spots in the field, it will slide a wheel just a little bit now and then. Okay. Again, sorry for it getting dark, but I wanted to get a few loads out before I got carried away. Okay, that's about it. Now, the thing I do want to say here also gathering my thoughts, is ground-driven manure spreaders with these tires in muddy ground. They're prone to, with a heavy load, you never want to let your manure freeze in here. You'll be in pretty tough luck. It's hard to do it on this one, but you'll be in tough luck. But they will slide and they will stop. And then you have all kinds of trouble because it's usually the beater that jams and slides first. And then the load gets pushed against the beater. And then this one locks up. And then you got to unload it by hand and get it going. This machine, you saw it with the hay. It looks good in this kind of weather. The mud and rain, I don't know if you can do it with any ground-driven one. Probably the worst deal on this one are these levers. And they're made from probably, I don't know, 1/4 inch, probably hot rolled. I don't know, maybe cold rolled, but 1/4 inch stock. And the problem is, that one I just picked up there, that runs your table chain. To put it in the transport position, which relieves the follower off. You can't see it, but there's a cam. It drives on the follower off the cam. You have to lift it up and it pushes the table chain back. What will happen if you have a load in there and you forget to do that before you load it? It is very hard to lift it up and it will twist. It'll twist and bend, and this one has been bent. I bought this machine used, but it was almost new condition. It was used. The reason I got it is the table chain was slack and had gotten caught on a one of the take-up dogs, or one of the take-up things in the back. Somebody had picked it up with a forklift, and that take-up piece, the lift piece, it would be right here in the front. That lift piece had gotten bent up, so the table chain got caught in that, and somebody just didn't want to deal with it. So I got it, I brought it home. I just cut it off and made it work, bent it down. Now this side here, when you've got heavy ice and whatnot, that can be a little bit of a problem, because what that does is, again, it's getting hard to see, but all it does is it slides. There's a sprocket on the back of the wheel, and it just slides a piece that lifts the chain off that sprocket. And that's prone to icing if you have mud, which you're going to get. I mean, we don't all live in Lancaster and PA and South. You know, the people that live up north that want to use these in the wintertime are going to get frozen mud on here. But like you see, you know, it does work, you know. So, like I say, the biggest thing is those handles. That table chain one could be a lot stronger, and you do need a tailgate. You know, this weather, it worked really good. That kind of load in my, I don't want to name names, but I got it at Tractor Supply. That thing would be locked up. I'd be out here digging. I'd be trying to get it out. So, I want to sign off on this little 10-minute video. You know, and like I say, this is, I'm happy with this unit. It's gonna have a long life with us. So if you're looking at one, I'll post the model number. But it is a really decent unit. But like I say, if they could just make a little stronger handle, it would be a lot better.